But on galactic standard date 2187.156, something appeared that defied all understanding. The cosmic energy storm manifested in the Andromeda sector without warning. This swirling vortex of dark energy consumed entire star systems, growing larger every hour. It wasn't just moving through space, it was consuming space itself. Every star system it touched simply disappeared, not destroyed, not converted to energy, gone, as if it had never existed. And with each system consumed, the storm grew more powerful. For the first time in over 1,000 years, the galaxy's greatest intellects were completely baffled. The scientific crisis on Zephyria Prime, home to the galaxy's most advanced scientists, emergency protocols activated. The Zephyrians existed partially in higher dimensions, allowing them to perceive reality in ways no other species could match. They could observe the quantum foam of spacetime itself and predict cosmic events with perfect accuracy. Dr. Zaran Keth stood before holographic displays showing the storm's impossible progression. This phenomenon violates 17 fundamental laws of physics. It exists in 11 dimensions simultaneously while affecting 3-dimensional space in ways that should be impossible. Admiral Zethkar, whose military genius had prevented 3 galactic wars, reviewed his tactical analyses. Every defensive strategy fails. The storm adapts to our responses before we can implement them. It's learning from our attempts to stop it. Dr. Vera Lynn, Master of Temporal Mechanics, delivered her devastating report. I've analyzed 10,000 possible futures. In every timeline where we use conventional methods, we fail completely. The destruction spreads to entire galactic clusters. For 72 hours, the combined intellect of advanced civilizations worked frantically. They used quantum computers that could simulate entire universes, energy manipulation that could rearrange matter at the subatomic level, and prediction algorithms that bordered on precognition. Their result? Zero progress. Scientist Zell Nar, who had studied younger civilizations, made a radical suggestion. What if our advancement is actually hindering us? What if we need a species that thinks differently? The chamber fell silent. I propose we consult the humans. The reaction was immediate disbelief. The humans? The species with chemical rockets and binary computers? Who had achieved interstellar travel only 50 years ago? But Zelnar persisted with a historical example. Remember the trade route crisis of 2156. Our most advanced computers couldn't find safe passage through the nebula fields. A human pilot looked at our navigation charts and said, "Why don't we just go around?" Her simple solution worked perfectly and is still used today. After heated debate, the Galactic Council made an unprecedented decision. For the first time in Federation history, they would formally request assistance from a Level 3 civilization. They would ask humanity for help, Earth's response and the Children's Initiative. The priority Alpha transmission reached Earth at 3:42 p.m., causing every alert system on the planet to activate. Dr. Sarah Chen, Earth's chief science officer, stared at the holographic assembly of the Galactic Council in disbelief. Admiral Zethkar's translated words were historic. Dr. Chen, on behalf of the Galactic Federation, we formally request assistance in addressing an existential threat to all life in 3 galactic clusters. After reviewing the storm data, Dr. Chen made a decision that seemed crazy but felt right. Admiral, I accept your request. However, I propose we approach this with minds most likely to think outside established parameters. I suggest we ask our children. The galactic silence was profound. Our young people haven't been conditioned to accept limitations. They approach problems without preconceptions about what's possible or impossible. Within 12 hours, Dr. Chen organized the Global Youth Problem-Solving Initiative. The challenge was presented to educational institutions worldwide. The galaxy needs our help. How would you solve an impossible problem? Over 2 million submissions poured in from every continent. Ideas ranged from simple drawings by 6-year-olds to sophisticated papers by university students. Some suggested talking to the storm, others proposed building giant nets, several recommended asking it politely to stop. While many ideas were impractical, they all shared one characteristic. They approached the problem from angles that hadn't occurred to advanced alien minds. After extensive review, 12 finalists were selected. Not the smartest kids on Earth, but those who thought most differently. Maya Patel, 14, from Mumbai, had designed water purification systems for developing regions. Carlos Rivera, 12, from Mexico City, grew vegetables in space using his grandmother's farming wisdom. Aisha Okonkwo, 16, from Lagos, invented solar panels inspired by butterfly wings. Tommy Nakamura, 10, from Tokyo, solved puzzles by questioning their basic assumptions. 8 more brilliant young minds joined them from around the world, each bringing unique perspectives shaped by different cultures and experiences. These 12 kids were about to change galactic history. The breakthrough session. The children gathered at the Geneva facility for humanity's most important conversation ever. As holographic aliens filled the room, the kids' first reaction wasn't fear but pure curiosity. How do you breathe? Do you have families? What's your planet like? Admiral Zeth Kar found their enthusiasm charming despite the crisis. Young humans, this storm has defied analysis by minds studying cosmic phenomena for millions of years. Maya stepped forward confidently. That's okay. Sometimes fresh eyes help. Can you show us what you've tried? The aliens presented their most advanced solutions: quantum field manipulation in 17 dimensions, dark matter containment systems, temporal displacement technologies, concepts that would challenge university professors. But the children's questions revealed completely different thinking. Why do you want to stop it? Tommy asked innocently. What if it's not trying to hurt anyone? Have you tried talking to it? Wondered Elena. If it's acting alive, maybe it needs to communicate. What if it's lost? Suggested Carlos. When I get lost, I don't break things on purpose. I just try to find my way. Dr. Vera Lynn paused her complex explanation. We've analyzed energy patterns and quantum signatures. It shows no signs of intelligence. Aisha frowned thoughtfully. But how do you know what intelligence looks like if it's different from yours? My little sister is really smart, but adults don't always understand her because she thinks differently. The questions kept challenging basic assumptions the aliens had never questioned. Have you asked where it's trying to go? What if all the destruction is accidental, like a lost elephant crashing through a village? Look at this trajectory pattern. It's not random. It's searching for something. Then came the breakthrough moment. Carlos studied the movement patterns and remembered his grandmother's garden. In our garden, when too much water comes during rainy season, it floods everything. But water isn't trying to hurt the plants. It's following its nature, trying to flow where it belongs. His excitement grew as the connection became clear. We don't try to stop all the water. We create channels to guide it safely away from delicate plants and toward areas where it can do good instead of harm. Maya immediately understood. The storm is like water. It's not attacking randomly. It's moving towards something but doesn't know the safe path. Tommy nodded eagerly. Instead of fighting it, we help it find the right route. Aisha was studying the galactic maps with growing excitement. We create a pathway, a series of guide points leading through empty space to wherever it's trying to go. The alien scientists were stunned. They had missed something obvious while focusing on advanced solutions. "You're suggesting a guidance system?" Dr. Zarin Keth asked in amazement. "Like GPS for cosmic storms," Elena laughed. Admiral Zethkar raised the obvious challenge. This would require coordinating thousands of ships across multiple star systems. The logistical complexity would be unprecedented. That's when Aisha asked the question that became legendary throughout 3 galaxies. She looked up at the towering holographic admiral with innocent directness and said simply, "So? Don't you have phones?" 47 seconds of absolute silence followed. The most advanced civilizations in 3 galaxies stared at a 16-year-old who had pointed out the obvious. Dr. Vera Lynn's laugh was like crystal chimes. "Out of the mouths of babes and humans. Yes, Admiral, we do have very, very good phones." Galactic cooperation unleashed. What followed was the most intensive coordination in galactic history. Within hours, communication networks spanning 3 galaxies hummed with unprecedented activity. The response was immediate and overwhelming. The proud Centaurians volunteered their entire deep space fleet. The profit-focused Rigelian merchants offered cargo vessels as beacon platforms. The logical Vulcanoids provided mathematical precision for positioning calculations. The emotional empathans offered to project calming feelings toward the storm. Species that rarely interacted suddenly became partners. The crystalline Altarians contributed gravitational manipulation technology. Gas-dwelling Jovians emerged from atmospheric cities. Silicon-based Terrans shared geological knowledge. The children watched in amazement as barriers that had existed for millennia dissolved. "Look how they're helping each other," Aisha observed. "They're not just working together, they're taking care of each other." Maya documented the cooperation with fascination. Each species contributes what they do best. Together they're creating something none could accomplish alone. Carlos smiled, remembering his grandmother's wisdom. "Abuela always says the best gardens have many different plants. Each contributes something special, and together they create an ecosystem stronger than any single plant." Within 6 hours, over 10,000 starships from 500 species had volunteered for beacon duty. The logistics required coordination never before attempted, but advanced communication networks made it possible to manage as if all ships were in the same solar system. Admiral Zethkar coordinated military aspects with impressive efficiency. Dr. Vera Lynn handled temporal mechanics, ensuring simultaneous arrival across vast distances despite time dilation effects. The beacon network that emerged was a masterpiece of cooperative engineering, stretching across hundreds of light years. It created a clear pathway that would guide the storm safely through empty space to wherever it was trying to reach. But the most remarkable aspect wasn't the incredible technology. It was how the project transformed galactic society. Species became friends while working toward their shared goal. Cultural barriers dissolved as beings focused on helping rather than competing. The cosmic resolution. The storm followed the beacon pathway for 3 standard days, moving through empty space with the precision of a river following a carefully constructed channel. As it traveled, something extraordinary became apparent. The storm wasn't just mechanically following the path. It was responding to the guidance with what could only be described as gratitude. Its chaotic energy patterns began to stabilize. Its destructive effects diminished. The storm was transforming from a force of destruction into something peaceful and purposeful. On the 3rd day, as the storm approached the galactic edge, long-range sensors detected something that caused amazement throughout the scientific community. Another storm, identical in composition and energy signature, was waiting at the boundary between galaxies. The two storms met in a display of cosmic beauty visible from thousands of light years away. Energy patterns that had seemed destructive revealed themselves as complex communication methods. The storms merged in an intricate dance of light that painted entire nebulae in colors that had no names. Then, as billions watched in wonder, the combined storms departed together into the void between galaxies, their journey finally complete. Carlos spoke softly as they witnessed the cosmic reunion. It was looking for its friend. Aisha smiled through tears of joy. And we helped them find each other. The cooperation that began with the Beacon Network didn't end when the crisis was resolved. Species that had barely spoken for centuries became regular collaborators. The Galactic Council established new protocols based on what they called the human model. The principles were revolutionary in their simplicity: ask different questions, seek help from unexpected sources, consider kind solutions to every problem, choose cooperation over competition. Dr. Chen addressed the United Nations months later. The galaxy has been transformed, not by advanced technology or superior firepower, but by 12 children who asked, "What if we tried being kind instead?" The lasting legacy Maya Patel became the youngest being ever to address the Galactic Council. Her words became some of the most quoted in galactic history. Being smart isn't about having all the answers, it's about asking the right questions. And the most important question isn't how do we win, it's how do we help. Tommy's puzzle-solving approach became the basis for assumption-free problem analysis, adopted by universities throughout the galaxy. Carlos's grandmother was invited to speak at the Galactic Agricultural Symposium, where her simple wisdom about water management inspired new approaches to terraforming and ecosystem development. Aisha's insights about communication led to the Galactic Translation Project, aimed at developing better understanding between species that thought in fundamentally different ways. Each of the 12 children contributed their unique perspectives to various galactic initiatives, but their greatest achievement was proving that wisdom doesn't require age, insight doesn't need advanced technology, and profound solutions often come from innocent questions. The cooperation networks established during the crisis continued to flourish. Trade relationships improved. Scientific collaboration accelerated. Cultural exchange programs brought species together who had never interacted before. The Beacon Network still operates today, more than 50 years later, not just as a safety system for cosmic phenomena, but as a living symbol of what becomes possible when different beings choose to work together. At the network's control station on Earth, a memorial honors 12 children who changed the universe. The inscription, written in over 5,000 languages, reads simply, "They taught the galaxy that the most advanced answer is often the kindest one." The eternal message. Their story is taught in schools throughout 3 galaxies, not as a lesson in advanced physics or military strategy, but as a reminder of the power of compassion, creativity, and cooperation. The 12 children proved that the future belongs not to those who can build the biggest weapons or calculate the most complex equations, but to those who dare to imagine better ways, question what seems impossible, and choose kindness over conflict. Because sometimes the most powerful force in the universe isn't advanced science or superior firepower or quantum manipulation across 17 dimensions. Sometimes it's simply a child asking, "What if we tried being kind instead?" And that, space explorers, is why humanity doesn't just belong among the stars. We help make them shine brighter for everyone. The children who saved the galaxy taught us that you don't need advanced technology or superior intelligence to change the universe. You just need the courage to ask different questions and the wisdom to choose kindness over conflict. What would you do if aliens asked for your help? What simple question might unlock the solution to an impossible problem? Share your ideas in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more epic space stories that prove the greatest adventures begin with the simplest acts of kindness. Remember, the galaxy is waiting for your next great idea. The most important discoveries often come from the most unexpected places. And sometimes, the smallest voices carry the biggest truths. Until next time, keep reaching for the stars, keep questioning everything, and never forget that there's always a better way if you're willing to look for it. The future belongs to those who choose cooperation over competition, understanding over conflict, and kindness over fear. Thanks for joining us on this galactic adventure. Keep exploring, keep dreaming, and most importantly, keep believing that even the most impossible problems have solutions if we work together to find them.